Hello my loves, welcome back. Today's practice we're going to focus on a nice deep stretch for the hips, the inner thighs and the lower back. So for this practice you might need a couple of yoga blocks. It could also be a stool, it could be a cushion, whatever you feel you need, or no props at all, your choice. Now come to sit onto your bum here and have the legs in a comfortable position for you, whatever that is for your body, and just settle in, take a breath. Maybe the eyes close and you just rest here, noticing your body. I'd like you to really focus on your pelvis here, on your hips. Do you feel like you're holding tension in the legs, in the pelvis, the inner thighs? Is there a sense of gripping on one side? How does your lower back feel today? Do you feel lengthened and tall, or are you kind of slouching in this position? Whatever it is for you, just notice. And finally, just notice the quality of your breath. Is it deep and full, or short and shallow? As you notice all of those things, then let the eyes open, take the hands to the outside of your thighs and bring your knees up and bring the feet in front here. Now the feet kind of a little bit wider than the hips. Take your hands behind you. Find a comfortable position here. Let the chest be open. Try not to sink into the shoulders here. Let the chest be proud and open. And then let the knees just gently sway from side to side, moving from right to left. Notice how your hips are feeling. Do you have more range of motion when you come to the right or to the left? Is there any sense that there's a restriction or tightness in one side? Just noticing. Every day is different in our practice. And as your knees come through center next time, then just take a little pause. Lift the chest up, and then we'll kind of set ourselves up here onto our bum. Take the legs nice and wide. Now as you take the legs nice and wide, I want you to think about the position of the legs here. The knees pointing up towards the ceiling and toes either pointing straight out or up towards the ceiling, whatever works for your body. And as you find yourself here then, think about your pelvis, hands connect to the floor, and just take a little bit of kind of a cat and a cow kind of motion here. As you inhale, the belly will come forward, the pelvis will tip forward, and as you exhale, the pelvis will tip back and the navel will draw in. You'll kind of come into that slunched position, that slouch. Inhaling, chest proud, belly forward. Exhaling, navel to spine. And just feel that little rock of your sit bones on the floor here. You're massaging through those sit bones. You're massaging the insertion here of your hamstrings. And I want you to continue this motion and just notice, where do you feel restriction? Maybe as you let the sit bones push back and the belly comes forward, do you feel restriction on the inner thighs? Is it in the hamstrings? What do you notice in your body? The next time that you come into kind of a neutral position, lifting tall here, maybe you grab a block or two and place it on the floor in front. I want you to tip your pelvis forward, hinge at your hips, come as far forward as you can here, so the back stays nice and long, and then maybe your forearms rest onto a block here. Thinking about some nice length from the crown of the head through the shoulders, the heart center, and all the way into those sit bones, into your hips. And as you pause here, then take a moment to notice, where are you feeling this? Is it inner thighs? And if it's in the inner thighs, is it in towards the groin, to the middle of the inner thigh, or to the knee? Notice that, because if you're down here and your groin and your knee are screaming at you, back off. Go a little softer. Same with the hamstrings. If you're feeling it in your hamstring, but it's into the bum, right deep into the sit bones, or behind the knee, back off. Back off a little here. The other thing that you can do is, instead of having straight legs, is to just soften the knees a little and maybe support the knee with blocks or a rolled up blanket, whatever feels right for your body. But just taking a breath or two here. Just pausing. Easing back off, come back up, maybe the block returns to the side. Draw your knees up, let your left leg come in front. As your left leg comes in front, let your right knee open to the right. Now as you find yourself here, I want you to again think about your body. If there's a big space between your right knee and the floor, then plug the space with a block. Left leg doesn't have to be super straight. If you need to, maybe roll up a blanket or something underneath your knee, support your knee so that your hamstrings feel a little happier. And I want you to draw your left hip up and to the back of your mat. Now that action could have lifted your right leg away from the floor. If so, maybe you take that little cushion now that you have that window, and from your hips, tip forward over your straight leg. Now if you find yourself more over your bent leg, then it's probably because you didn't lift the left side of your pelvis up and back. So notice that. Where is your torso in relationship to this straight leg? Now if you find yourself here and you want to relax the head, the neck and the shoulders, let them release. Maybe you're supporting the head on a block here. Especially if you're feeling any tension in the back of the neck. Whatever whatever you need to support your body. Be kind to your body. Let it settle in. Breathing into any tension here. No pain. Taking one more breath. Unfold, rise up. Help the right leg up. Let the right leg come out with the left. And just take a little resettle of your pelvis just to get a little bit of movement again here. As the right leg then stays extended, draw the left leg up and out to the left. Again, if there's a big space between the left leg and the floor, plug the space. Give yourself support for that leg. And then the right side of your pelvis will lift up and draw back a little bit here, so that when you come forward, your torso is over your straight leg here. And from your hip, fold over that straight leg. Just let yourself come over here. And again, doing whatever you need to do to support your body. And just letting yourself breathe. Breathing into it. Notice where you're feeling any tension. And can you breathe into that space? Take one more breath. And rise back up. And as you rise up, let the blocks release. Help the legs up. And again, just take a little resettle of the pelvis. Give the legs a little bit of movement. Give the hips a little movement. And then take the legs again, nice and wide here. Now as you take again the legs nice and wide, think again about that little bit of cat and cow, that little arch and round. And as you find neutral, take a pause. From that hip socket, tip forward. As you tip forward, maybe the forearms come again to your block here. Maybe the forearms can come down to a lower block. Maybe the forearms can come all the way down to the floor. If that's the case, can your block support your head? Just a second time through this, then just notice again here the inner thighs, groins, the knees. Where is the tension? And if it's on the knees and the joints here, can you back off just a touch, just until you feel that's a little softer, just until you feel it ease back a little bit here. Sending the breath into your back body. And just letting each breath melt you deeper into the pose. One more breath. Rise up. Use the hands to help you come up. Help your knees up. Bring them into center. Again, maybe the feet are a little bit wider than the hips here. Take the hands behind, and again, let the knees sway from side to side. Take your little windshield wiper pattern here. As your knees come through center, then allow the legs to find that same comfortable position that you had at the beginning of your practice. Let the arms rest, the eyes close, the spine lengthen. And just take a moment here to notice your body. In the beginning, I asked you to notice any tension that you were holding, any gripping. And just notice, is that still there, or has it disappeared? And if not disappeared, is it less? Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhaling. Exhale. One more big deep inhale. And a loud exhale. Resting here. Body, mind, heart and breath. Balanced as one. Namaste.